Welcome to this exciting video where we reveal the top 2 most valuable wheat pennies that have amazed collectors for generations. These classic Lincoln cents, minted between 1909 and 1958, might look like ordinary pocket change, but a few rare versions are worth thousands, and even hundreds of thousands, of dollars because of their minting history and scarcity. Let's get started. First up, the 1942 wheat penny, a classic American coin that connects us to an important period in U.S. history. This particular coin, without a mint mark, was struck in Philadelphia, and even in circulated condition, it still carries tremendous historical charm and collector appeal. The wheat penny, also known as the Lincoln cent, is one of the most beloved coins among collectors. Its design, durability, and connection to American history make it a favorite for both new and experienced numismatists. The 1942 wheat penny was minted during World War II, a time when the United States was mobilizing resources and industry to support the war effort. Despite the global turmoil, the U.S. Mint continued to produce these small copper coins to keep the economy moving smoothly. If your 1942 penny does not have a mint mark, it was minted in Philadelphia, the main U.S. Mint facility. Coins from this mint traditionally carried no letter under the date, making them easy to identify compared to Denver, D, or San Francisco, S issues. On the obverse side, you'll see the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909. His profile has appeared on the penny for well over a century, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. Above Lincoln's head are the words, "In God We Trust," a statement of national faith. To the left is the word "Liberty," and to the right is the date, 1942, marking a time of global conflict and resilience in America. The reverse of the coin features 2 wheat stalks framing the denomination 1 cent, which gives the coin its nickname, wheat penny. Between the stalks are the words, United States of America, and above them, E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many, one. In circulated condition, your 1942 penny likely shows signs of wear, perhaps a smooth surface, faded details, or a slightly darkened color. These marks are part of its journey and give it an authentic, historic feel. The coin is composed of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it that rich reddish-brown tone that collectors love. Over time, copper naturally darkens due to oxidation, which is why circulated examples often appear brown or even dark chocolate in color. Because copper was so important during World War II, the Mint was already considering alternative materials by 1942. Just 1 year later, in 1943, the famous steel penny was introduced to conserve copper for ammunition and other military needs. That makes the 1942 wheat penny one of the last pre-war copper cents, a final chapter before the temporary switch to steel. This gives the coin a unique place in numismatic history. In circulated condition, most 1942 pennies are not particularly rare, as millions were produced. However, their age, condition, and historical context make them fascinating and collectible nonetheless. Even though it's not a high-value coin in monetary terms, its sentimental and historical value is much greater. Many collectors start their coin journey with wheat pennies like this one because they are affordable, meaningful, and easy to find. If you take a close look at Lincoln's portrait, you might notice small scratches or flat areas from years of use. The hair detail and cheekbone are often the first areas to wear down, while the reverse wheat stalks may appear faint. Despite that wear, the lettering and general design remain clear, a testament to the Mint's strong engraving and striking process in the 1940s. Your coin's brown or dark tone shows that it's been in circulation for decades. Each mark tells a story. Maybe it passed through soldiers' hands during wartime, or perhaps it was tucked away in a family jar for years before being rediscovered. Collectors often separate wheat pennies into grades like good, fine, or very fine based on how visible the details are. Even in circulated condition, a 1942 penny can be appreciated for its completeness and patina. What's truly special about this coin is how it represents America's strength during a challenging era. While the country was producing planes, tanks, and ships, it was also quietly minting coins that would circulate in everyday life, symbols of stability and normalcy amid uncertainty. The lack of a mint mark means your coin came from the main production facility, which typically struck the majority of pennies that year. It's likely that billions of these coins were produced, ensuring they reached every corner of the country. Still, not all circulated coins are the same. Some may have sharper details, others may have unique toning, even slight die variations that make them distinct. Occasionally, collectors find 1942 pennies with small minting errors, like double-die obverse or misaligned strikes. These are rare, but they do exist and can be worth more than standard examples. The design by Victor David Brenner was originally controversial because his initials, VDB, appeared prominently on the 1909 issue. They were later restored in a more subtle form at the base of Lincoln's shoulder, where you can still see them on the 1942 coin. That detail connects your coin not just to the 1940s, but all the way back to the very beginning of the Lincoln Cent series. It's part of a long and continuous legacy that remains in use today. Even though your coin is worn, it still holds artistic beauty. The soft edges, aged tone, and surviving features tell a story of endurance, just like the era it came from. For many collectors, a circulated wheat penny isn't just a piece of metal. It's a tangible link to their grandparents' generation, to a time when pennies actually mattered in daily purchases. You can imagine this coin being used in candy shops, bus fares, or newspaper stands during the 1940s. Every small transaction added a chapter to its long history. Now, decades later, that same 1942 penny continues to capture attention. Whether displayed in a collection, stored safely in an album, or shown in a video like this, it serves as a reminder of America's rich numismatic tradition. So even though your 1942 wheat penny without a mint mark is circulated and modest in value, it carries immense historical weight. It stands as a small but enduring symbol of craftsmanship, resilience, and American heritage, a true treasure from the past. Next up, the 1953 wheat penny with a D mint mark, a humble yet historically rich coin that still captures the attention of collectors and history lovers alike. This classic Lincoln cent carries with it the charm of mid-century America, a time of growth, change, and recovery after the war years. The 1953 D wheat penny was struck at the Denver Mint, identified by the small D mint mark just below the date. During this period, the Denver Mint was producing millions of these coins to meet the needs of a booming American economy. This coin belongs to the Lincoln Wheat Cent series, one of the most collected coin series in the world. Its reverse side, with the iconic wheat ears, symbolizes prosperity and productivity, ideals that defined the post-war era. The obverse side of the coin proudly displays the portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln's profile has been on the U.S. 1-cent piece since 1909, making it one of the most enduring designs in American numismatic history. The inscriptions on the front include, "In God We Trust," along the top, "Liberty," to the left, and the date, 1953, with the Denver Mint mark to the right. These details, though sometimes worn from circulation, remain powerful symbols of American values. On the reverse, two curved wheat stalks frame the words, "1 cent," and "United States of America." Above these are the Latin words, "E pluribus unum," meaning, "out of many, one," a motto that resonates deeply with the nation's identity. In circulated condition, your 1953 D wheat penny likely shows signs of age, perhaps a dull brown or reddish tone, worn details, and slight discoloration. These are all signs that the coin has lived through decades of history. The coin is composed of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, which gives it that distinctive reddish-brown hue. Over time, oxidation and handling can cause the color to darken, sometimes appearing chocolate brown or even nearly black. This natural change in color is part of the charm of older copper coins. Every shade and tone tells a different story about where the coin has been and how it's been used. In 1953, the Denver Mint struck over 700 million wheat pennies, an impressive number that helped keep up with the growing economy and population of post-war America. While not rare, each coin is a piece of history in its own right. Your circulated coin might have smooth areas, particularly on Lincoln's cheek and jawline, where the high points of the design wear down first. The wheat stalks on the reverse may also be faint, depending on how much circulation the coin has seen. Even with this wear, the 1953 D wheat penny remains a collector favorite because it's part of the beloved wheat cent series, which ended in 1958 when the reverse design changed to the Lincoln Memorial. Coins from the early 1950s are a snapshot of America's optimism during a time of economic expansion and technological progress. The 1953 D penny is a silent witness to that era's everyday life. Imagine this coin passing through the hands of people in 1950s America, perhaps used to buy candy, newspapers, or a cup of coffee. Each transaction added a chapter to its long and fascinating journey. Collectors often appreciate circulated coins because they carry a certain authenticity. The marks and tone tell you this piece has lived a real life, touching countless hands before arriving in your collection. The design by Victor David Brenner has stood the test of time for a reason. Lincoln's portrait was the first to appear on a regular issue U.S. coin, marking a shift toward honoring national heroes in everyday currency. The reverse design with wheat stalks represents America's agricultural strength, which was the backbone of the nation during Lincoln's time and remained a powerful symbol through the 1950s. If you examine your coin closely, you might still see Brenner's initials VDB on the base of Lincoln's shoulder, a subtle tribute to the artist who created this timeless design. Though common in circulation, some 1953 D wheat pennies can have interesting varieties or minor errors, such as double dies or repunched mint marks. These can add extra value for collectors who love spotting the small details. In circulated condition, most 1953 D pennies are worth only a few cents, but their value goes far beyond money. They are cherished for their beauty, history, and the story they tell about mid-century America. The coin's copper composition also makes it a favorite for those who appreciate older materials in U.S. coinage. After 1982, pennies began to be made primarily of zinc with a thin copper coating, changing both their feel and durability. Holding a 1953 D penny is like holding a tangible piece of history, real copper from an era when America was defining its modern identity and culture. Even though it's circulated, your coin's charm comes from its journey. Each nick, mark, and faded letter is part of its personality, and that's what makes it truly special. Collectors often say that wheat pennies are a perfect starting point for anyone interested in coins. They're affordable, full of character, and steeped in American history. The 1953 D edition, in particular, reflects the craftsmanship of the Denver Mint, clean, bold lettering, and strong strike details that hold up even after decades of wear. When you tilt your coin under the light, you might see subtle shades of red, brown, and orange, natural tones of aged copper that only time can create. This visual appeal, combined with its historical background, makes the 1953 D wheat penny an enduring favorite in coin collections around the world. Whether you found yours in a jar, inherited it from family, or picked it up at a market, it represents a genuine link to America's past, a small but powerful piece of history. So while your 1953 wheat penny with a D mint mark may not be rare or highly valuable, it's still a beautiful artifact of American culture, craftsmanship, and everyday life. A true reminder that even the smallest coins can carry the greatest stories.